Welcome to the Dangerous Man Podcast, where we talk about how to become a better man, take responsibility for our mission, create value for others, and the many failures and lessons we've learned along the way. Stay dangerous.
John, do you ever feel like punching science in the face?
When I get out of bed on the wrong side, you know.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I suppose I should intro the show. I'm Adam Tuft, your host, and joined by John Castoris.
What's up, guys?
Who is our co-host.
I'm
I'm excited to just freaking talk about some dangerous shit today. Like shoving bacon down vegans' throats.
Hell yeah, man.
But anyway, I've done a lot of stuff in the gym. I'm actually getting really close to being like 1 year consistent in the gym. It's actually going to be like this week. Basically, by the time this...
Let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's July, so
yeah.
You started last July. That's what you say.
I think it's actually like the 24th, and we're recording this on the 22nd.
23rd.
23rd? Yeah, so...
Woo.
Yeah, so...
So tomorrow we're going to eat lots of bacon to celebrate.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're going to send all the pictures to a bunch of vegans.
I might eat like 2.5 pounds of bacon tomorrow, to be honest. Yeah.
That'd be awesome, man.
Just to give a big old middle finger to the vegans, you know?
Just like tag that photo on social media with every vegan hashtag.
Yeah.
So it just shows up on everyone's feed.
That'd be hilarious. Just like tons of, and they're like, what? Yeah.
That's amazing, dude. We'll just DM every vegan.
Hashtag avocado toast. It's just bacon.
That's great.
That'd be wild.
Oh, man. So you're 1 year consistent at the gym.
1 year consistent at the gym. I feel like I've made considerable gains, to be honest. Went from benching, like a year ago, I was benching like 90 pounds. I could maybe 1 rep max, 135 maybe. And now my 1 rep max is 230. So... Like,
wow.
quite a big gain. I can see the difference in my muscles. I'm bigger now. I'm not like roided out Arnold Schwarzenegger yet, but
Yet.
Yeah. Keyword yet. But anyway, I was kind of thinking about when I started in the gym and kind of who I listened to a lot. And really the thing that got me really going in this gym is when I was doing some kind of exercise, and then there's just like a really jacked guy in the gym, a gym bro, if you will. They call them the gym bros because they are.
I've met one or two, once or twice before.
Yeah, they are in fact the gym bros.
Dude.
So anyway, a lot of the time, like this one guy would literally, his name's Will. Shout out Will if he's listening. He'd literally show me like, hey man, if you actually like, when you're doing like shrugs, you should like look at your, elbows, and then that's how you get more of it out of it. And just do it like that, and like you'll just get way more feel out of it, and you'll feel your traps a lot better. And I'm like, okay. And the reason why I listen to him,
reps.
You know why I listen to him, right?
I would guess because he's skinny as fuck, right?
Yes, that's no. It's because
because we listen to people that we do not want to become like on the. That's what everything on this show comes from. People that don't
listen to skinny people about getting jacked. That's a good idea. Even better, listen to fat people.
Dude, even better, listen to vegans.
Yeah.
So Will's jacked out of his mind.
So he's a pretty big guy. So it's like, well, you're big, so clearly you know what you're doing. So I'm just gonna listen to this because you clearly have some results. So that's probably accurate.
He probably knows what he's doing.
I didn't need to know, like, actually, when you lift up your elbow, that actually moves your shoulder in a certain way that makes your trap go stretch longer and contract more at a 55-degree angle. Like, that's...
And releases the endorphin of blah, 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 blah,
yeah,
blah.
it actually increases more of your, DHT or whatever. It's like, okay, I don't like what even is DHT? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I think that's an actual thing. Yeah,
it's how Arnold Schwarzenegger got so ripped.
I don't know. I think DHT, I believe, is it's like dihydrogen testosterone or something. I'm just making it up, but
it's probably how you get rid of vegans.
Yeah, probably. It's probably how you get rid of vegans. They probably are really low in this. Anyway, but
so Will.
Yeah.
Lift your elbows.
Lift your elbows. The thing is I would listen to like jack guys in the gym because it's like, well, clearly you have the results. I don't need to know like all the mechanics of how my body works. You just tell me what to do and I'll just like do it because you're big. Whereas like, I think there's the whole like science-based community in like working out. And it's like, well, you do this thing because like you get farther range of motion. And like when you're doing, you know, lateral raises on a cable, then you can lean out at 30 degrees and it makes it more effective because you get a better stretch in your side delt. And you're like, what? I just lost you like 4 sentences ago. What's going on? I'm not trying to like take out my protractor at the gym, you know? Like, and look kind of funny. I'm like, I'm trying to measure out stuff, you know?
Hey, I took geometry for a reason, so I can use this at the gym,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's why.
Wait, you mean math had no purpose in my life and was a waste of time?
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's important to count up by 45s.
Right.
That's the multiples I actually need to know.
No, I needed to chart that graph out because now I know how to do delt raises.
Yeah.
Is that even a thing?
Yeah, lateral raises.
Right.
Hits
That's
your
the word
delts.
that's the word I meant.
Yeah, lateral raises. Which is, you could probably call it a delt raise too. But point being,
Right.
I found it way more helpful for someone who has results just to kind of show me what to do. And it's not like I have to understand all of the things. I just need to know, hey, I should do this because it gets results. Same thing when I was doing like Alex Hormozy's bulk. I'm like, I don't need to know the science, all the science behind like why this thing like gets you bigger. And I just did it and I got bigger. So, and I got a lot stronger. So really not having to know all of the things is like helpful for me. Cause if I had to like learn all the science, take out your protractor and measure 37 degrees when you're trying to do this to get optimal range of motion, it's like, I'm just not going to go work out then.
Right.
You know? And I think this kind of like bro of like the gym bros that are jacked that have the results versus like the science-based thing, I think you can like, I was thinking like you could add this or apply this to other areas of expertise or understanding. Like when it comes to like, I'll even say something that, you know, John knows a lot about, which is like audio engineering. My understanding of it is I'm a very scrawny bro, but it's more of a bro understanding than a science-based understanding. I mean, we were just filling around with our mic stands before this, and I'm like, I'm a troglodyte at this.
I'm like, bro, just tighten the stand. He's like, what?
Like, why is this so hard?
I'm caveman.
I need to activate more than 4 brain cells.
That's actually because I took a theory class. That's how I know to set up a mic stand, right? It's the science.
Yeah, you need to go to college class for that. But the thing is, if you're doing something long enough, you'll eventually learn like the science and stuff behind it and whatnot. But when you're first starting out, I feel like it's just so much more important to learn how more than why. Or you can have the why too, but you don't need to know all the nitty gritties of like, oh, I need to know all of the details on how this thing works. Just know what you got to do when improving it, anything. Just, you know, like when it comes to, we talked about priming. I don't know why, like Tony Robbins priming, all the psychological things behind why it works. I just know it works and it improves my attitude and improves my outlook on the day. I'm like, I don't know all the psychological, like, oh, well, actually it releases more oxytocin into your brain because you're doing this. It's like, I don't need to know that. Like, I wasn't aware that like oxytocin and dopamine were a thing until like high school. I don't even know if I knew oxytocin was a thing until high school. But did I feel them? Yes. So, like, I just don't think it's necessary to know all of the things. And I think when someone were to like try to know all the things about something, it can kind of slow them down, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think I remember in high school, I was given a project that I had a really hard time understanding. So I was like trying to wrap my head around, like, oh, what is this part of this? What is this part of this? And I was so caught in all of like the little nitty gritties of like this literature project that I'm trying to like, it was like, I don't even really understand what it was, but it's like trying to like create a like story vortex type. I don't even know what it was exactly, but it didn't make sense to me. I was trying to ask the teacher like questions on how to actually like put it together. But she was just like, just do the thing. Like, it's not that hard. But I was like kind of perfectionistic in that. And I think when it comes to science-based stuff, there's like a temptation to perfectionism as well.
Interesting.
Which can slow you down, and especially when you're trying to go somewhere and when you're trying to, achieve your dreams and your goals. You can't necessarily like afford to know all of the little nitty gritties to get there. You just need to be like, all right, this is the thing. All right, I'm going to do it because I clearly know I know people that have results, like social proof, like working out this way. I know it works because I know a bunch of guys that work out this way and they're big. So that's what I'm going to do. And that's, I think it's so important about being able to just, kind of be a bro.
Yeah.
About a lot of stuff. Also, I think the gym bros are a little bit more fun than the science-based people. It's like, well, actually, it's like they have like a little bit of snootiness about the science-based people, whereas the bros are just like, man, you're here to work out. Just work out and, maybe work out this way differently than that way and just kind of send it. Because honestly, the way that you work out and actually get in here and send it is going to be better than the way that makes it so you don't come into the gym.
I have a thought.
That is?
So, what is your thought, Adam, that maybe, I mean, okay, like, I think if we said one is the only way to go and the other one doesn't really matter, I think that would be, I don't think we'd both agree with that statement. I think you would probably say that there is a value to science-based kind of people. But I think there's a nuance you're making here about, for instance, I remember talking to somebody probably about 2 weeks ago now. I had a good conversation with the dude, and he was asking all these questions about the carnivore diet. And I was trying to answer them
best. Was he vegan?
Probably.
Whoa.
That's probably the issue right there.
We got to serve him up some bacon.
I think we can end the episode right there. I think the answer is everything.
We know.
Solution. Oh my gosh. But that's so funny. And I think there was this need that he had for an intellectual understanding. He needed to know how these things worked. What was the science, this and that. And honestly, I respect it. I think there's a place for asking a lot of questions, trying to understand. I tend to be a person who's a little bit more, when I really see the cogs and the gears moving underneath the surface, it kind of gives me that reassurance that I can kind of commit to this and see it do good things in my life. But I think there is a setback to that, where in the perfectionism realm, right? I found it easy to, I find it easy in my life to just try to get everything perfect. And so I have to read every book and I have to do this and that. And, I have to research it a ton and you see people that just, they read a lot and they research a lot and they watch YouTube videos and they'll start talking about it and kind of be like, I'm an expert. And you're like, but what have you done about that? And they're like, oh, well, I know a lot about it. And you're like, well, yeah, but what is it doing in your life?
Yeah, it's kind of like
if someone, well, I could teach it. You're like, okay, so great. Like, let's learn knowledge and just talk about it. And like, we're all of a sudden amazing people. But like, what's the value of me applying that? It's
kind of like a business professor who knows everything about business, but has never actually built one.
Right. And they teach business,
It's like
regurgitate information out of books, and it's
it'd be going back to the bro versus science in the gym. It's like someone that knows all the science behind working out, but doesn't actually like work out that much. It's like, well, I know all of the science, but
we all know people like that. They're like, well, this is my degree, and you look at them and you're like, dude, you're fat as fuck. Like, who cares what you like? If this is
they
your
have like an
degree?
exercise science degree.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I know all about nutrition. I went to school for it. And you're like, clearly, it's like
how many donuts did you eat today? Is it 12 or 17?
Or maybe they're just vegans.
Yeah, and then just have a bug head.
Yay. We're really slamming this vegan thing, but hey, respect in your dreams. So bacon rules,
which means no respect.
Oh, get dunked on. It's just like, I just want my encouragement and my thought in all this is, I think both action and learning are really important, but it's a saying that Peter Jingdahl has brought up on the show a couple times. It's like people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I think the science-based thing can kind of get like, let me give you this pointer, let me show you this, and let me tell you this, and like blah, blah, blah. And I know about this. And they're like, look at me. But it's like, but that comes off as an attitude of superiority. Like, I'm better than you. And it doesn't always, sometimes the bros are like, dude, let me spot you. And they're like, hey, do this. I found it helps me get big gains. And you're like, well, you're jacked, so bet.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it's like, this comes off as like, I just do what works, man. And I want to pass it on because I care about results.
Yeah.
And I think you can get that from a science base. I don't think like if you tend to be a little bit more science based or engineer minded like me, that's great. I think there has to be a way that you don't just walk over people with your knowledge. I think is what we're trying to say. And there is a value to just like model people that do it well. And you don't need to know why. You don't need to know all of the, you don't need to spend a year researching before you commit to start changing your life. Like, you don't need to know all about carnivore before you switch your diet. You just can see that it's working for people. Give it a shot, And I think that's the value of what I'm hearing you say from the gym bro mindset. And I think there's value to that. And one thing you were telling me about too, Adam, is like, I want you to share more about it. But like, when you do kind of start by just saying, this guy gets results, let me do what he does, gym bro method. There's time and place and room to learn more of the science behind it.
Yeah. And you
tell
will
me about that
by just kind of doing it, like, you'll be like, okay, well, this is actually proper form for this. If you actually arch your back when you're benching, you're going to be able to, put up more weight. Though you might feel it in your hamstrings every now and then. In fact, you should, if you're really pushing yourself hard enough, I feel like. But I think what we're talking about is, I think a lot of it at its core has to do with trust.
Trust. Talk to me.
Because when you say people don't care how much you know until that they know that you care. When it comes to gym bros, it's like, I'm bringing this up to you. You're not paying me. I'm just bringing this up to you because I care. Also, I clearly know what I'm doing because I'm jacked.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay. Well, let me pay attention to that then. Rather than, well, actually, you should, pull out your protractor and, 30 degrees. 32 degrees, you have long arms. 37 degrees, like, I make fun, but it's like more complicated than that when it comes to like, I think when I was starting out, I could get a little overwhelmed by like trying to figure out all of like the different like ways that I could work out. Instead, I just like picked one and then decided I'm going to the gym 6 days a week.
And just commit.
And then just committed to that.
Right.
And I think like there's like with, I guess, gym bro culture, there's more of like a hoorah, like let's just go send it and listen to hard style music and and just go like ape shit,
get
you know?
amped.
Yeah, get amped and go ape shit on this stuff.
Yeah.
Like let out your anger on the weights a little bit.
Yeah.
That I think resonated with me a lot. And it was like, okay, I can actually like just go and actually enjoy lifting weights instead of like, oh, I have to, do it, a calculation of how to do this, all of these. Like, I'm not trying to be in school, like doing math to figure out how to lift stuff. Like, I just want to go in and actually like get a good pump going and feel like I really, hit all my muscles. And because I want the gains, that's what I want to feel. Like that's the goal of going to the gym, is getting stronger and getting bigger, in a muscular sense, not in a overweight vegan sense. Though I don't know if vegans get that overweight because they're like
tend to be pretty skinny from my understanding.
Yeah, because it's really hard to absorb nutrients from all that plant matter.
There's no protein you're getting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I am getting all science based into it now because I'm into health and stuff. But
yeah,
my encouragement too is the fear. The fear brings a need to kind of be perfect with things.
Mm-hmm.
And I know fitness is such a crucial. We talk about it a lot, Adam and I do. It's such an important first step in the masculine journey.
Yeah,
is to get your body right, to get your diet right, to get your body, your muscles. Is what I'm trying to say. Get toned. Body confidence. I think confidence really starts with body confidence. I really believe that.
And if you're a fat ass, it's kind of hard to have body confidence.
Yeah, it's hard to respect yourself too, and following through at the gym and committing to a training regimen for you a year, seeing the results in a year. That's a lot of respect and a lot of encouragement. Like you can look at other goals in your life and believe you could do it.
Like if me when I started saw me now, he'd be like, hell yeah, I'm definitely going to the gym.
Yeah. And so I want to encourage people here in this it's don't let the fear of I don't know what I'm doing, or this is new, or I don't know if I believe that I can do this. Don't let that push you into I have to completely like over-engineer researching this all to get it perfect.
Yeah.
Like just, get in there and find somebody that's doing well. And this could be a YouTube too. Like you can do a little research. I'm not saying don't do research, but like look up somebody who's doing well and what are a few exercises they're doing. They'll give you their routines. They'll say, I recommend you do this and I recommend you do that. And pick a few, keep it basic, and then start doing them. And once you learn those those moves, think about it like a video game. Once you learn those moves and master them and feel comfortable, it's like the first time you walk into a gym, you're like really timid. Get a routine and just focus on that, not other people. And then all of a sudden you'll come in on a Tuesday and you're like, I'm doing leg day. And you'll just snap into leg day mode and it's going to feel like the back of your hand. You're not going to be overwhelmed and nervous, or you're not going to feel self-conscious. And then you're going to go, okay, I'm ready to learn a couple more things. And it just grows. It grows.
You do legs on Tuesday?
Usually, yeah.
Oh.
Because when I do it on Wednesday, everybody's doing it on Wednesday.
I suppose.
And then all the racks are taken.
That makes sense. Wednesday is kind of like National Leg Day.
Yeah. And then Saturday is National, I don't feel like going to the gym day. So then they don't do leg day twice. So.
Oh, I'd hope they do leg day twice if they're doing push-pull legs.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But then it gets to the weekend and they're like, so.
Yeah. That's why
I'd rather do it Tuesday, Friday.
Yeah, I suppose. That makes sense.
But, So anyways, gym bro versus science mindset. Any closing thoughts, Adam?
Yeah, it can be applied to a lot of different areas, I think. If you're talking about like, finances, you're like, do I need to know why these different methods work for making money? Sometimes. But I think a lot of the time when it comes to doing a method that we know works because other people have done it, we're afraid of doing it because we haven't done it before. Because that's kind of a chief fear, is the fear of the unknown. But anytime you do something for the first time, you're doing something that you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like when you go in the gym and you try bench press, yeah, the bar might go to your chest and you might not be able to lift it. And then you have to like roll it down your abs and like sit up and self-spot it essentially. And it might hurt a little bit, but you learned, oh, I can't just, you know, bench 185 without ever really benching much before, you know? Like you learn those things. And I think a lot of people think, and I think it's programmed by our school system. This is a whole different episode. But that failure is like bad.
That's the mindset.
That's the mindset.
Bad
but
one.
really, failure just means you're going to learn something.
Right.
And that's natural to life. And I just think it would,
that's really good.
Yeah, I think it'd just be awesome if just like all the dangerous men out there just like realized, hey, failing isn't bad. I can trust those people around me who are doing the things that I'm doing and I kind of follow their lead. And I don't have to know all the nitty gritty. But I go and I dream and I accomplish. And I do things that I want to set out to do and see my dreams, fulfill my mission, go out there and change the world.
Share the show if you want to help other men embrace danger and become truly great. You've been listening to The Dangerous Man. Join us next time. Until then,
Claim your greatness
and stay dangerous.